Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following MLB matches that is happening on Tuesday, September 12, 2023. We will be providing our team, total and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comments section below. Kansas City Royals vs Chicago White Sox. Take Chicago. The White Sox dropped 2 of 3 games to the lowly Detroit Tigers on the road over the weekend, leading into their series with the Royals. Chicago scored only 3 runs in their final 2 games of the series. Chicago's pitching staff stepped up, however, allowing only 3 runs in total during the 3-game set. Starter Mike Clevinger picked up his 7th win of the season on Friday by pitching 7 strong scoreless innings while striking out 7 batters. The White Sox are preparing for next year as they are completely out of both the division and wild card races. Toussaint has pitched effectively in his previous 3 starts, producing a 2-1 record with a 2.76 ERA and a 1.04 WHIP. He won his last start, which came against the Royals on the road. He went 6 innings and allowed 2 earned runs on 2 hits and 3 walks. The Chicago White Sox have been dominant against the Kansas City Royals at home, winning 7 of their last 8 matchups, including a previous 3-game sweep this season. Chicago's pitching staff has consistently held the Royals to 2 runs or fewer in home games against them in 2023. Furthermore, the White Sox have secured victories in 2 of Toussaint's previous 3 starts at their home stadium. In contrast, Lyles, the Royals pitcher, has struggled significantly with a 6.61 ERA and an average of nearly 10 hits allowed per 9 innings in his last 3 starts. Lyles has also endured a challenging season on the road, sporting a staggering 7.45 ERA in 14 starts away from home. Historically, Lyles has struggled against the White Sox, amassing a 1-6 record with a 4.78 ERA in 8 starts and 2 relief appearances. The Royals have faced difficulties on the road, losing each of Lyles' previous 3 starts away from Kauffman Stadium. Their struggles extend to losing 9 consecutive road series, including multiple sweeps, and they have a poor record of over 70% losses in away games. To add to the evidence, the Kansas City pitching staff ranks 28th in the league in road ERA, with an average of 5.21 runs allowed. Overall, the Royals have lost 6 of their last 8 games. Given these statistics, the odds are strongly in favor of a White Sox victory at home on Tuesday. Take the under. Both teams rank near the bottom of the league in many key offensive categories, including average runs per game. The Royals rank dead last in the majors in batting average on the road, so the odds they score quickly in bunches are low. The White Sox have gone under in each of Toussaint's previous 3 starts. They have batted a lean .207, with a .250 slugging percentage at home over their previous 3 games. 5 of the last 6 games played between these 2 squads at Guaranteed Rate Field went under the run total, with only 16 runs scored in total during their 3-game set there in May. The White Sox pitching staff allowed 2 runs or less in each of the 3 games played against them at home this season. The Royals have pushed or gone under the run total in each of their previous 4 games. The White Sox have gone under in 4 straight games as well. Both teams scored 2 runs or less in their previous 2 contests. Most signs point to a lower scoring affair when these 2 offensively challenged teams meet on Tuesday. Oakland Athletics vs Houston Astros. Bet the run line, -1.5, and take Houston. Houston is expected to trot out Justin Verlander. He went 7 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 walk, 1 earned run, and struck out 6 in a win in his last start against the Texas Rangers. On the season, he has a record of 11-7 with a 3.23 ERA, 1.16 WHIP, and a 119/40th KBB ratio in 23 starts. Opposing batters are hitting .219 against Verlander. The Astros have been very good on offense this season. They are top 10 in the league in runs, hits, home runs, RBI, walks, strikeouts, OBP, SLG, and OPS. Houston's pitching staff has been very good this season. As a team, they are top 10 or just outside the top 10 in the league in ERA, runs allowed, strikeouts, and batting average against. The Astros sit first in the AL West. They have been good on offense and pitching this season. However, they cannot get comfortable, as they do not have a comfortable lead in the division. Houston will still be in a position to grab a wild card spot if they fall out of first in their division. Houston is on a mission to secure the AL West title, and their upcoming series against the struggling Athletics provides an excellent opportunity to accumulate wins. The Athletics have faced significant defensive challenges throughout the season, ranking in the bottom 10 in the league in several key categories, including runs, hits, home runs, RBIs, walks, batting average, OBP, SLG, and OPS. In contrast, the Astros have boasted a potent offense this season, placing them in the top 10 in the league in runs, hits, home runs, RBIs, walks, strikeouts, OBP, SLG, and OPS. Houston's batting lineup is significantly more formidable than Oakland's, providing them with a clear advantage. Furthermore, with Justin Verlander on the mound for Houston, he is expected to have little difficulty handling Oakland's struggling lineup. Given the offensive disparities and the quality of pitching on Houston's side, it is likely that the Astros will emerge victorious in this contest by a margin of 2 or more runs. Take the under, 8.5 runs. J.P. Sears is expected to get the start for Oakland. He went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 4 walks, 1 earned run, and struck 3 in a win in his last start against the Toronto Blue Jays. Sears has a record of 4-11 with a 4.51 ERA, 1.23 WHIP, and a 141/43 KBB ratio in 28 starts. Opposing batters are hitting .248 against Sears this season. Oakland has been very poor on offense this season. They are bottom 10 in the league in runs, hits, home runs, RBI, walks, batting average, OBP, SLG, and OPS. The Athletics pitching staff has been terrible this season. As a team, they are bottom 5 in the league in ERA, hits allowed, runs allowed, hits allowed, home runs allowed, walks allowed, strikeouts, WHIP, and batting average against. Justin Verlander is expected to be on the mound for Houston, and he will have no trouble with Oakland's poor batting lineup. On the season, Verlander has a 3.23 ERA, 1.16 WHIP, and a 119/40 KBB ratio in 23 starts. Opposing batters are hitting .219 against Verlander. Oakland has been very poor on offense this season. They are bottom 10 in the league in runs, hits, home runs, RBI, walks, batting average, OBP, SLG, and OPS. The Athletics will struggle to score, and the under will hit in this matchup. Chicago Cubs vs Colorado Rockies. Tail Chicago Cubs run line. Chicago enters this game ranked second in the NL Central and having won the first game of their current 3-game series on the road against the Rockies. In their most recent 5-4 win, Jordan Wicks got the start throwing 6 innings and allowing 3 hits that resulted in 1 run while striking out 2 and walking 1. From then on it was a bullpen game for the Cubs, with Drew Smyly getting the win and Michael Fulmer getting the save. On the offensive end the Cubs totaled 12 hits and 5 runs in the game. Dansby Swanson and Yan Gomez had the only multi-hit games for the Cubs, while Christopher Morel had the team's only home run on the night. Overall it was a solid win for Chicago, as the pitching did just enough to keep the Rockies at bay. The Cubs give right-hander Javier Assad the start for Game 2 in hopes of securing a series win and 3 straight wins for the squad. Assad has recently transitioned to starter and has had a pretty solid year so far, posting a 3.3 record along with a 2.83 ERA and a 1.20 WHIP in those outings. His most recent start came against the Diamondbacks, in which he threw 5.1 innings and allowed 7 hits that resulted in 3 runs with no strikeouts and 1 walk. I would expect a slight better performance from Assad in his upcoming start as he faces a struggling Rockies offense. I'm selecting the Cubs to secure a victory in this game by a margin of more than 1 run for several reasons. The Cubs are a superior team overall, are currently in the playoff hunt, and possess a significant advantage in terms of pitching for this matchup. Chicago is sending Javier Assad to the mound, who boasts a 2.83 ERA and a 1.20 WHIP on the season. In contrast, the Rockies are starting Chris Flexen, who carries a less impressive 7.36 ERA and a 1.74 WHIP. Flexen's recent performance has also been concerning, as he lasted only 2.1 innings in his last outing, surrendering 6 runs on 4 hits. Expect the Cubs lineup to put pressure on Flexen early in the game and potentially take control from the outset. In terms of recent trends, the Rockies have lost 8 of their last 10 games overall, while the Cubs have won 6 of their last 9. Furthermore, in past matchups between these teams, the Cubs have emerged victorious in 4 of their last 5 encounters. These factors bolster my confidence in selecting the Cubs to cover the run line in this game. Our total pick is under 12 runs. Taking the under in this game for a couple of reasons. The total opened up at 12 and has since moved down to 11.5 on some books, indicating sharp action on the under. While the Rockies do have Chris Flexen on the bump repping a 7.36 ERA, I do not see that justifying a 12-run total. The Cubs have actually struggled a little bit as of late, particularly on offense, so they may not be able to take full advantage of Flexen. On the other end, the Rockies have had little to no production on offense all year, and that likely won't change this game facing a quality arm in Javier Assad, who has an impressive 2.83 ERA on the season. In terms of trends, the Cubs have gone under in 8 of their past 10 games, including their past 6 in a row. In addition, when these teams have faced off in the past, they have gone under or pushed in 7 of their past 10 matchups overall, making me all the more confident in taking the under for this game.